Good day, everyone. Today, me and my partner will assign to discuss who is Henry Lawrence Gantt and what his contribution to scientific management and what it's all about Henry Lawrence Gantt. So let's start. Henry Gantt, 1861 to 1990s, was born into a family of prosperous farmer in Maryland in 1861. He graduated from Johns Hopkins College and was a teacher before becoming a draughtsman in 1884 and qualifying as a mechanical engineer. From 1886 to 1893, he worked at the Meadville Steel Company in Philadelphia, where he became assistant to the chief engineer Taylor and then superintendent of casting department. Gantt and Taylor worked well in their early years together, and Gantt followed Taylor to Sidmonds Rolling Company and to Bethlehem Steel. In 1917, he accepted a government commission to contribute to the war effort in the Frankfurt Arsenal and for the Emergency Fleet Corporation. So let's proceed to Gantt contributions. So first is Gantt's and bonus wage system. Introduced in 1901 as a differential of piece wage system. Employer receive a bonus in addition to his regular day rate in accomplish the task for the day. Enable workers to earn a living while living to increase their efficiency productions, often more than double. So let's proceed to number 2. The perspective of the worker and supervisor. Gantt was interested in aspect of industrial education, which he called the habit of industry. So habit of industriousness and cooperations, doing work to the best of one's ability, and pride in the quality as well as the quantity of work. Gantt brought in an innovations by paying the foreman a bonus if all the workers meet the required standard of performance. From his experience as a teacher, Gantt hoped that his bonus system would help to convert the foreman from overseer and driver of worker to a helper and teacher of subordinates. So let's proceed to number 3, the Gantt bar chart. So this started as a humble but effective mechanism for recording the progress of workers towards the task standard. A daily record was kept for each worker, in black if he met the standard and red if he didn't. This expanded into further chart on quantity of work per machines, quantity of work per workers, cost control, and other subjects. A bar chart showed how work was scheduled over time through to its completions. This enabled management to see it in graphic form how well work was progressing and indicate when and where action would necessary to keep on time. The Gantt chart provides a graphic means of planning and controlling work and lead to its modern variations are PERT for program evaluations and review technique. So as you can see, that is the Gantt chart. So a Gantt chart is a type of bar chart that illustrates a project schedule. After the paired or CPM analysis is completed, the following phase is to construct the Gantt chart and then to reallocate resources and reschedule if necessary. Gantt charts have become a common technique for representing the phases and activities of project work breakdown structure. It was introduced by Henry Gantt around 1810 to 1915. Application of Gantt's principle in modern business. Gantt chart is used today in modern-day production scheduling methods. It is translated in 8 languages and used throughout the world. Starting in 1820, it was used in Japan, Spain, and Soviet Union. So there have a form basis for two charting devices used for planning, organizing, and controlling complex organizations processes. So first is critical path methods, which is CMP, originated by DuPont. Second, performance evaluations and review technique, which is PERT, developed by Navy. Next, LOTUS 123, which is Lotus. So next, I will proceed the Gantt chart characteristic. First, the bar in each row identifies the corresponding task. Second, the horizontal position of the bar identifies start and end times of the task. The third is bar length represent the duration of task. The fourth is task duration can be compared easily. And the fifth is good for allocating resources and rescheduling. And the sixth is precedence relationships can be represented using arrows. Seven, critical activities are usually highlighted. Number eight, slack times are represented using bar with don't lines. Number nine, the bar of each activity begins at the activity earlier start time. Number 10, the bar of each activity end and the bar and the activity latest finish time. So the bar chart have more characteristic. So the bar chart it is very valuable and it is very interested. So the next presentation, malalaman natin kung ano ang disadvantages and advantages of the Gantt chart. So, first is advantages. So, simple, good visual communication to others. Task duration can be conferred easily. Good for scheduling resources. Kumbaga, ang advantage ng Gantt chart is simple lang, dali lang nato maunawaan. So the disadvantages of Gantt chart, it dependence are more difficult to visualize. Minor changes in data can cause major changes in the chart. So pag mayroon ka lang kamalian sa data na ilagay mo, ay babalik ka naman sa sa una. So dapat careful ka sa paglagay ng sa bar chart. Dapat careful ka sa paggawa ng bar chart, lalong-lalo na sa mga numberings. So, let's proceed to critical elements of a task. So, first we have a terminal elements. So, terminal elements are the smaller, more intricate tasks that need to be completed as part of a larger task. So, sa terminal elements, so yan pa lang ang pinaka-start sa sa pag-coating ng paint. Second is summary element. Is made up of terminal elements to form the larger task. So, pag first coating ka pa lang ng painting, may second painting pa talaga yan para klaro yung pag-paint mo. And for example, a summary element for a car manufacturer will be paint the vehicle. So, the terminal elements of painting the vehicle will be stripped any original paint. So, first is primer. Apply your first, second, and top coat. And finally, mag-wash ka na i-wash mo na yung car, lagyan mo ng wax and buff, and the new paint will good job. And that's all for today. Thank you very much.
Good day to everyone. I'm Abigail Soronio, BP Ed 3. So I discuss about contribution of Henry Gantt. The contribution of Henry Gantt. First is GATT contribution, where more in the form of refinements rather than fundamental concepts. So actually, what is the Henry Gantt done means he done some rectification in the fundamental concept. Second is Gantt, he improved Taylor's differential space rate system and brought out his task and bonus plan. So these tailors told that the difference in a piece rate system, that means one piece this much pre-fees. This will be the concept of turbulence, but this Henry Kant and Dan brought, and another contribution is that the task and the bonus plan. That means this much amount we have to attain the task, and before that, what will happen? We will get some bonus for doing the work. So that is the task and bonus plan. Third is the Gantt developed the daily balance chart, now known as the Gantt chart. So the Gantt chart is a very important, and nowadays also it is followed in many industries, and Gantt developed a daily balance chart and now is known as the Gantt chart. He wrote a book, the name is Work, Wages, and Profit. The Henry Gantt wrote this book and he developed is the Gantt chart. What is Gantt chart? So Gantt was the first protege and the associate of Frederick W. Taylor. Gantt is the best known for the Gantt chart, but he also made a significant contribution to management with respect to pay for performance plans and training and development of workers. So, uh, a Gantt chart is a graphical chart that shows which the task must be completed at which times in order to complete a project or a task. An example of the simple Gantt chart as shown here, Gantt chart is visual, indicates what task must be completed at what time in order to complete a project, and accomplishes this by showing times in a various units of the x-axis and tasks on the y-axis. Gantt charts, through simple and straightforward, Gantt chart we revolutionary in the era of set of the paths management because of the detailed planning information they provided. As a Gantt route, by using the graphical forms in value is very much an increase to tell how closely the schedule is being lived up to. In other words, whether the plant is being run efficiently or not. So as a Gantt route, by the using of graphical forms, it's the Gantt chart's value is very much increased for the general appearance of the sheets is sufficient to tell how closely the schedule is being lived up to. In other words, whether the plant is being run efficiently or not. Gantt said such sheets shows at the glance where the delays occur, indicate what must have our attention in order to keep the proper output. The use of Gantt chart is so widespread today that nearly all the project management software and computer spreadsheets have capacity to create charts that track and visually display the progress being made on the project. Okay, next is finally Gantt, along with Taylor's, was one of the first to strongly recommend that companies train and develop their workers. In his work companies, he found that workers achieved their best performance levels in they were trained first. Next is resistance. So at that time, however, supervisors were reluctant to teach workers what they knew for the fear that they would lose their jobs to more knowledgeable workers. So Gantt overcame the supervisor resistance by rewarding them with bonuses for properly training all of their workers. So they have Gantt's approach to training was straightforward. First is scientific investigation of the work best method. So, scientific investment in the detail of each piece of work and determination of the best method and the shortest time in which the work could be done. Second, a teacher capable of teaching the best method. A teacher capable of teaching the best method and the shortest time. So third is rewarded for the both teacher and pupil. So when the letter was successful, so a rewarded of both teachers and the pupil when the letter was successful. So the modern Gantt charts also show the dependency relationship between activities and current schedule status. And that's all for today. Thank you.